right, hello my friends. So today is a good day and it's going to be a little bit of an unusual video, all right? You see, this weekend I am heading off to the Lone Star Roundup in Austin, Texas, which is a mega gathering of hot rods, street rods, all the fun stuff. And I don't have time to make a in-depth video, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to treat you to a little tour and I'm going to pop off with whatever my favorite fact is about that car. And this way I can also avoid editing, which is important. So let's do it. All right, first we will start with the MGA. Beautiful. Now the MGA almost wasn't a thing. You see, Leonard Lord was presented a prototype. And when he saw that prototype, he's like, yeah, that looks good. But he had just signed a deal with Donald Healey and decided he didn't want to spend any more money on roadsters. Well, luckily for us, MGA sales busted a bit, so we agreed to the MGA. Oh my God. The 1985 Mark IV AC Cobra. This thing is a beauty. So Brian Inglis is the guy that brought about the continuation Mark IV Cobra, right? And he got the AC name, and he actually had some of the same workers working with the same jigs and dies of the original Cobra. And that really pissed off the man, the myth, the legend, Carroll Shelby. He was not pleased about that. This car is fabulous. And then I just did a full video. Oh shit. Almost slipped on some oil here. Dangers of the trade, you know what I mean? I just did a full video on this lovely 1979 Ferrari 308 GT4. Now this was the last car that was the last 308 GT4 that was imported into the States. Love that. And find the full video somewhere on my YouTube. Let's see if I can change my hands, because my little hand's getting cold. There we go. All right, it's getting tired. Now behind me, I actually have two of the Apollos. La la la. One of these is the first Apollo, the #1 coupe, the 3500 GT. I think it's this one. It's kind of hard to tell. You can really, a little hard to tell with them right behind me. But what I love about the Apollo was, oh, it was so close. So close. International Motor Cars was so close to being like a nationally known name. See, this has an Italian body with a Buick V8. It essentially could have been as well known as the Cobra, because that's the same hybrid formula, all right? You put a reliable American and powerful engine in there, and then you put a European handmade body on there. It's kind of special. So only 80 of the Apollos were ever made. And less than that still in existence. I feel like I should be getting better views of the cars. So now we actually have a 4-door Avanti here, and then we also have an Avanti R2. Now the Avanti was almost the car that could have saved Studebaker, all right? Kinda. And the Avanti was designed by the man, the myth, the legend. Why you need to know about this man who designed these? Raymond Loewy. He is considered the father of industrial design. How about that, sports fan? All right, now the Maserati Quattroporte right here. Okay, you just gotta see a little bit of the this interior is just luxe. I used to detail that car when I was in my teenage years, and I'd like to think that all of the heavy conditioning of that leather is why it still looks this great. Now, the Maserati, something you should know about the Maserati brand is that it really just came about because the Maserati brothers wanted to race, and they needed money to race, so they decided to make some cars, and that is it. And you know, Maserati kind of has had some financial perilous moments here and there. Now we have this lovely Lincoln. Ooh, probably my favorite fact about Lincoln Motor Company is that it was founded by Henry Leland. Henry Leland is the same gentleman that also founded Cadillac. So one guy founded two of America's most competitive luxury lines. How about that? So I get a little look at this beautiful car. And then here we have the Studebaker Skyhawk. This is beautiful and pretty rare. All right. And this also, let me see. I'm sorry for that absolutely poor videography. This was also designed by Raymond Loewy. Now, what I love about seeing a Studebaker that is designed by Raymond Loewy is that that guy was so prolific. Like today, in modern times, there is probably a logo or a device that he had his hands in the design of making that you see every day. How about that? Okay. All right, the Cadillac Seville. Now this thing is like a bronze beauty. It's immaculate. So about Seville, they were trying to come up with different names, right? Cadillac is trying to figure out, well, what should we name it? It was almost St. Moritz, and it was also almost named the Leland. But then they were like, you know what? Henry Leland also created Lincoln, and they're our direct competition. So, now the beautiful LaSalle. It looks like a Cadillac, don't it? Because it is a Cadillac in a different sheep's clothing, right? Just kidding. So the LaSalle is basically a Cadillac that just has the LaSalle branding on it. You see, General Motors said, hey, let's go ahead and it just occurred to me that they also tried to name, I think they tried to name the Seville LaSalle as well, along with St. Moritz and Leland. Anyways, that's how my mind works. Okay, back to what the LaSalle is. So General Motors was like, hey, you know what? Let's try and fill this little, I want this kind of middle market. We're going to basically just put a Cadillac in different clothing, see if we can sell to people. Well, people just stopped buying the Cadillac, started buying the LaSalle, so they got rid of the LaSalle. Dun, dun, dun. We have darn near identical Lincoln right here. I kind of love... the first is this Lincoln Continental, and the first Continental, oh no. Okay, my sister just called. Okay, the first Continental prototype was actually made off of a Zephyr body, and this was Edsel Ford's dream, you know, like I don't think you could, Edsel Ford was so much different than his father, Henry Ford. You know, he was more of the designer, dreamer, and Henry Ford was eating dandelions off the side of the road and trying to figure out how he could pump out cars quicker. Pump out all black cars more quick. So anyways, so this is the third year of the first generation of the F1 Ford. So this was the first all new truck that Ford came out with after World War II. This is at 1949. And really, through the 3 years of the first generation, how you can tell the difference is through the grille. And it's kind of hard, I'll be honest. Look at this Mercury. I just love the teethy grin of a Mercury, especially around these years. So we were just talking, my hand's getting tired again. We were just talking about Edsel Ford, right? Well, Mercury was another dream of Edsel Ford. He decided he wanted to target the market. Who were their competitors? I don't remember. Anyways, he wanted to target, digressing so easily. He wanted to target the market. And so in 1938, he came out with the Mercury company. And then, so this has got to be, I think after 1949, they did like a huge design change. And a lot of Mercuries are used as a lead sled. And this is a good looking one. Ooh, and one of my favorites. All right, this is the 1921 Dodge Brothers. Oh, Jesus Christ, I almost ran into this. This is the 1921 Dodge Brothers, okay? Like, this is great. This is one of the few cars that rolled into our mechanic shop, and my mom said, I want that. And it's fabulous. It's history on wheels. It's, Now, what I also like, and I think about this because there are some lives in the early automotive game that they passed away too soon. The Dodge Brothers, they were in like their early 30s maybe. This car is
after they passed away, the Dodge Brothers cars. And how they got their start was creating automotive supplies and being a wholesaler for car manufacturers. And then they decided to get into their own game, and so they started making cars. One of my favorite facts about Dodge Brothers vehicles is that the US government decided to do the Mexican expedition, or Mexico expedition, aka also known as the Pancho Villa expedition. They were going after Pancho Villa, and it was General Pershing that they put to the task. General Pershing said, there's no way I'm going into that crazy Mexico terrain unless you give me Dodge Brother vehicles. He didn't want anything else but Dodge Brothers vehicles. And you can actually, if you Google Dodge Brother vehicles, like going through the field, like you could just, it's a great video. It's good stuff. And another thing, I don't remember if it was John or Horace, which are the Dodge brothers, John or Horace Dodge, that got into a fight with a lawyer outside of a Detroit saloon. Not just any fight. Him and his friend kind of jumped the lawyer. So lots of fun stories from the Dodge brothers. All right, guys, well, most of these cars I have already made kind of a full, more intensive history video on. Let me know if there's any I should remake. I mean, not like my videography skills has gotten any better. It's just me and my actually 3-year-old. I called it a 2-year-old Android the other day when I was doing the 308 GT4 video. But it's my 3-year-old Android and I just talking about cars. If that is your cup of tea, well then go ahead and press the subscribe button. But now I am off to happy hour, celebrate my girlfriend Lexi's birthday at Vernon's, a local dive bar. So, see you later. Bye!